Hello, my name is Ranelli Williams, Certified Public Accountant and co-owner of ERJ Services, LLC. Today, I'm going to share with you 10 steps to building wealth and leaving a legacy. Here are the 10 steps. 1. Set goals and write them down. 2. Manage your budget. 3. Build an emergency fund. 4. Create multiple streams of income. 5. Be a smart consumer. 6. Reduce your expenses. 7. Manage and eliminate your debt. 8. Protect your assets with insurance. 9. Invest wisely. And 10. Teach everything you learn to your children. Step 1. Set goals and write them down. When you start thinking about setting your financial goals, there are some questions that you need to ask yourself. Where are you financially today? And what are your financial goals? What do you want to accomplish? And when would you like to achieve them? For example, you may decide when you want to retire and how much you want to retire with. So make sure that you put that down on paper. What are some of the steps that you need to take in order to achieve these goals? You need to look at your current income and you need to look at your current spending. You may need to reduce your spending and you may need to increase your income. And also, you want to find a favorable investment vehicle. And we will go into these in detail in just a bit. So here's step 2. Manage your budget. Your budget is really your financial roadmap. It's an itemized summary of your likely income and expenses for a given period. You need to complete a new budget every single month and stick to that budget. The other thing about your budget is that it needs to be zero-based. And what that means is that your income less your expenses, less the money that's going out, needs to be zero. Never leave a balance on your budget because that extra money that you leave, it's just going to go to waste. So if you have that extra money, you need to assign it somewhere. You need to assign it to savings. You need to assign it to building your emergency fund, to whether it's you're going to put it into an investment account. Whatever you decide to assign it to, it needs to be assigned. And then again, I want to reiterate that you must stick to your budget. Step 3, build an emergency fund. Your emergency fund is your financial safety net. It's that money that sits there in case that an emergency comes up and prevents you from going into debt. Your emergency fund should be 3 to 6 months of your living expenses, and you need to keep it in a liquid account, such as a money market account. So, an account that you can easily get access to when you need those funds. Step 4, create multiple streams of income. Relying on one source of income, especially in today's economy, is a great financial risk. And so you need to have multiple streams of income, whether you have an active income source where you do the work and you get paid for it, or passive income sources where you do the work one time upfront and then you continue to generate income from it continually, such as writing a book, such as, being involved in direct sales where you're building residual income. Whatever it is, you need to have multiple streams of income. Do not put all your eggs into one basket. And you want to diversify not only in different types, but also in different industries. So if something happens in one industry, crashes, that you have income coming from other sources as well. Step 5, you want to be a smart consumer. I cannot emphasize enough that you never purchase or invest in anything that you do not fully understand. A lot of the times we purchase stuff, there's fine print. We need to make sure that we read it, we understand exactly what it is that we're getting into before we commit. You want to also make sure that you consult with your spouse or other accountability partner if you don't have a spouse before making a major purchase. Sometimes you need that person to just be the person that's going to be there to keep you straight. Sometimes we get so emotional about our purchases that we go into some contracts that we shouldn't, and so we need to make sure that we have an accountability partner that we consult with before we make especially large purchases. And again, with large purchases, you want to wait overnight before you commit. And then lastly, I want to share that you need to shop with cash and ask for bargains. When you shop with cash, you're able to negotiate. When you're using credit, you don't have, that leverage. So definitely save up your money and then take that money and make the purchase and ask for a bargain, negotiate. Step 6. You want to reduce your expenses. You can slash your grocery bill significantly by doing, some simple things. Clipping coupons from newspapers or supermarket flyers. You want to use Groupon for deals on local establishment. You may want to buy store brand. Most of the times they do match up to the more expensive brands. And so don't be so brand loyal. Buy store brands. Never go to the grocery store without a shopping list and always stick to it. And then you want to make sure that you go take less frequent trips to the grocery store so that you go there with your list, you shop, and you exit the store. Ask your current providers for a price reduction or shop around for a better deal. A lot of the times, if you just pick up the phone and call and ask, you definitely will get it. That's something that my husband and I did with our car insurance, and we were able to reduce it. And if you're not getting a lower rate with them, shop around and try to seek a lower rate. And you can do that with a lot of your household expenses. Another thing I encourage you to do to reduce your expenses is to temporarily downgrade your lifestyle. This could be whether it's housing, car, whatever it is that you look at your budget and you see that you can reduce today so that you can make some investments, so that you can pay down some debt, get yourself in a better position. You want to do that today so that later on you can be in a better position. And also I encourage you to use the envelope system. And what this is just keeping envelopes. There are certain categories that you can put money in on a monthly basis. When you use cash, you tend to spend less as opposed to when you're using a credit card. Statistics show that that's the case. And so for something like your grocery shopping, if you decide that groceries should cost you $400 every month, then you want to make sure you take that $400 and put it in your envelope. Whether you take $200 per pay period or however you get paid, you put that $400 in your envelope. When you go to the store, you're shopping with that envelope. And so if you don't have enough, if you reach 400, that's where you decide that you stop every month. And so choose different categories that you can do this with and definitely stick to it. Step 7, Manage and eliminate your debt. So you want to track your credit score, and you're able to get a free report once a year. So you want to make sure that you do that. Excellent credit is from 760 to 850. All the way down to poor, very poor credit is 500 to 579. So make sure that you fall on the left side of these columns. Make sure you're either between good and excellent, and you want to aim to get excellent credit. The components of your credit score are payment history, amount owed, length of credit, amount of new credit, and type of credit. And then you want to try to eliminate debt with the debt snowball method. And what this is that you write out all of your debt, put it on paper from the lowest to the highest, and you start paying off the lowest one, regardless of what your interest rate is. We want to accomplish paying off the lowest one and then move our way up to the highest. So once you pay off the lowest credit card bill, you take the funds that you were paying towards that one and pay on the second lowest. And that's why it's a snowball, because you're continually increasing the funds as you pay off the lower ones until you pay off all your debt. If you need additional information on that, I have a blog post on our website, www.erjservices.com, and you'll be able to get more information on the debt snowball method. Step 8, protect your asset with insurance. There are many insurances that you need to consider. You need to make sure that you have that. First one is your homeowner insurance or your renter's insurance. The homeowners is usually covered, but a lot of people who are renters, they don't realize that they need and should get renter's insurance. The one thing I want to point out, that if you're a renter, your the things that you have in your home, your possessions, they are not covered by your landlord's homeowner's insurance. You need to get your personal renter's insurance. And usually it's not a very high cost, so you want to look into that. Auto insurance, health insurance, disability insurance, long-term insurance, life insurance, and a lot of people neglect identity theft insurance. With today's market, 1 in 3 people are getting their identity compromised. And so it's important, for the cost of identity theft protection, anywhere from $10 to $20, it's worth it per month to get the identity theft protection, because the headache that you have to go through to clean up the mess that's made when your identity is stolen, you definitely want to. Step 9, you want to invest wisely. Just like with your income, that you want to diversify your income, the same way with your investments, you want to diversify your investment portfolio. You want to make sure that you seek tax-sheltered investments. You want to consider index funds. Index funds are accounts that pay you an interest when the market goes up. When the market goes down, you stay flat. You get zero, but you don't lose. And so you definitely want to look into index funds and consider those. And I can be a resource for that as well if you want to reach out to me. And then again, with investments and with anything, you want to keep it simple. If you don't understand it, don't buy it. If you're, the person that you're working with is not able to explain it to you adequately, do not purchase it. Make sure that you fully understand any purchase that you get into. And then step 10, so important. Makes no sense to learn all of this and not teach it to our children, because what we're doing here is building wealth and leaving a legacy. And legacy is passed on. And so all these things, as we learn, as we get educated, as we start managing our finances better, budgeting, building an emergency fund, getting out of debt, investing, protecting our assets with insurance, all this stuff, we need to be able to teach it to our children so that they too can build wealth and leave a legacy for their children as well, manage their money adequately. A well-informed man cannot be enslaved. So let's make sure that we are not enslaved and that our children are not enslaved as well. And with that, I just want to encourage you to, let's stay connected. We on Facebook, we are ERJ Services. Same thing on Twitter. Our website is www.erjservices.com. Our email is info@erjservices.com. Feel free to send any questions that you may have. And there's our phone number as well. And before I close, I just want to leave you with this quote. Don't let the opinions of the average man sway you. Dream, and he thinks you're crazy. Succeed, and he thinks you're lucky. Acquire wealth, and he thinks you're greedy. Pay no attention. He simply doesn't understand. And with that, my name again is Ranelli Williams, Certified Public Accountant and co-owner of ERJ Services, LLC.